This is Curran Bhatia. We're at the Golovkin-Rolls press conference here with Tom Loeffler. Tom, we just had a huge upset in Madison Square Garden. Does that scare you at all, knowing that Golovkin's going against an underdog like Steve Rolls?
Look, Triple G, as he always says, when people say, "What's your prediction?" say anything can happen. This is boxing. You saw, what was he, like 22-1 favorite, and Andrew Ruiz got up off the canvas, stood toe-to-toe with Anthony Joshua, and wound up winning that fight, unified heavyweight champion. So I know that that's motivated and inspired Steve Rolls. Steve Rolls is undefeated. He's physically in better condition than Andy Ruiz was. You can't take anything away from Andy. Optically, he might not look like the most conditioned fighter, but as long as he has that heart that he has, conditioned heart, ability to take the punch and stand toe-to-toe with a guy like Anthony Joshua, you got to give him a lot of credit. And we're expecting a great performance from Steve Rolls as well, because as Lou said, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. This is a type of fight that can change Steve's career, just like the Joshua fight will change Andy Ruiz's career.
If we see Steve Rolls eating some Snickers before the fight, maybe we'll be worried.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the Snickers bars away from Steve Rolls.
Can you give us a little insight into Gennady, where his mindset at now? A lot has changed in the last year. He had the Canelo fight. He took some time off. He got a new trainer. It seems like he's reevaluating everything. Has anything changed with him mentally? And can you give us some insight?
Look, Gennady's a great businessman. He's got a lot of companies he works with over in Kazakhstan. He's got great global partnerships, sponsorships. He was instrumental in negotiating this deal with DAZN, and he has a new trainer in his corner now. So it's the same Triple G, but with a lot of new pieces around him. And we'll see how it looks. That's what everyone's looking forward to, seeing the return of Triple G. Is he going to be as dominant with the new trainer, with the long break, as he was before? Or, how is his performance going to be in the ring? A lot of times when fighters get too caught up in other things outside of the ring, outside the training, there's distractions. Gennady's 100% focused, even though he is involved with a lot of other aspects of his career. He's 100% focused on the fight. He knows if he's not successful on Saturday, any talk of a Canelo fight or other big fights out there is going to be out the window. So he knows he has to win impressively on Saturday.
And with his new trainer, Jonathan Banks, in his last few fights, he didn't go to the body much. Have you noticed anything different about his training? Is he going to have a different game plan out there?
I think you'll see a lot more movement. I think you'll see different combinations, fast flurries, and just from what I've seen in sparring, I think he's been very dominant in his boxing training. So we'll see. I think you'll see a few tweaks in his style. That's what a lot of people are not only excited to see him back in the ring, but they're excited to see what does Jonathan Banks even bring to the table. How is he going to change? A lot of fighters come in and just want to do the same thing other trainers are doing. Jonathan has definitely brought his own style that he's imparted upon Triple G, and I think you'll see some fast combinations, fast hands, and some more movement in the ring.
So we see Gennady ringside at these fights. He's got the sunglasses on. On social media, they're saying it's like a heel turn, like in WWE. Is that actually what's going on? Does he have a little bit more of a chip on his shoulder after the Canelo fights? That were obviously close fights, and he, of course, I'm sure thought he won like a lot of people did. Is there a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, something to prove now?
Look, anytime you respect the sport of boxing, and anytime a guy like Triple G loses his titles based on 1 point from one scorecard in the 12th round, the overwhelming majority of fans and media thought he won that 12th round against Canelo. Of course he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's disappointed. That's why he took some time off. He was frustrated with the decision, frustrated with the sport, and now he's rejuvenated. He's got some extra pep in his step, and he wants to show his skills back here at Madison Square Garden.
And not to look ahead of Rolls, because as Ruiz showed us, you can never really look ahead of an opponent. But, Gennady is 37 years old. Obviously, the Canelo fight must be in his mind, the trilogy. Is that what's in his future? And then how many fights after that? Is he kind of looking at the finish line a little bit?
It's a 6-fight deal, and he wants to fulfill his 6 fights with DAZN. So, I wasn't sure how much longer he would box, but I think we'll see on Saturday night. Then we'll see if we can get a Canelo fight. We'll see what other fights are out there. The great thing about the middleweight division right now, middleweight or super middleweight, is there's some big names out there, and it seems, unlike a couple years ago, it seems like they're actually willing to get in the ring with them. Before, I would call up promoters, managers, about fighters, about champions, unifying titles, or getting in the ring with Gennady, and there'd be crickets. And now it seems like people really are looking to actually fight him, which makes my job a lot easier.
Big things on the horizon for Gennady Golovkin. He's fighting Steve Rolls at Madison Square Garden this Saturday. Thanks, Tom.